I now give the floor to the representative of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Mr. President, exercise of the right of the self-defense is the legitimate right of the sovereign state, which nobody can deny as it is recognized under the UN Charter and international law. Our test fire of a new type of ICBM has no negative effect on the security of a neighboring country. The Japan announced that our ICBM landed outside its exclusive economic zone, and it is tantamount to Japan's acknowledgement there is no risk was posed to its security. Moreover, our test fire of a new type of ICBM, Hwasong-18, is a warranted exercise of the right to self-defense, to deter dangerous military moves of hostile forces, and safeguard security of our state and peace in the region without fail. Often briefing by Security Council, our legitimate exercise of the right to self-defense of sovereign state is contradictory act that denies fundamental principle of sovereign equality and non-interference in internal affairs enshrined in the UN Charter and norms of international relations. We categorically reject and condemn the convening of the Security Council briefing by United States and its follower, which increase upon DPRK legitimate right to self-defense, since it constitutes illegal and reckless act of violating spirit of UN Charter and international law. At the present, military provocation of the United States as a follower against the DPRK are growing as never before, and consequently, military security pattern in Korean Peninsula is reaching the phase of a nuclear crisis beyond Cold War era. In April, United States cooked up Washington Declaration, the platform for nuclear showdown with the DPRK. As the follower, United States is openly planning to deliberate on the use of a nuclear weapon against our republic through the meeting of the United States and the South Korea Nuclear Consultative Group, which will be parent body of the United States, Japan, South Korea Tripartite Nuclear Alliance. In addition, at this unprecedentedly driving regional situation to the brink of nuclear war by frequently deploying nuclear-powered submarine and nuclear strategic bombers in and around the Korean Peninsula and conducting large-scale joint military exercise. There is no place in the world like Korean Peninsula where extremely provocative and aggressive nuclear war exercises are going so frequently and annually, with ultimate goal of the end of the region of the single sovereign state. What is more serious is that United States is attempting to deploy again nuclear weapons to the Korean Peninsula by dispatching nuclear submarine to South Korea for the first time in 40 years, while resorting to extreme provocative aerial espionage activity by infiltrating into the airspace where DPRK sovereignty is exercised. U.S. nuclear strategic bombers dispatched to Korean Peninsula a number of times within 1 month. The cruise missile-loaded nuclear submarine deployed in South Korea and Japan, U.S. strategic nuclear submarine that carrying the hundreds of the nuclear warhead, and 20 ordered ICBM deployed in South Korea pose serious threat not only to DPRK and neighboring country, but also the countries in Asia-Pacific region. Such reckless military moves of the United States constitute outright provocative acts of an aggressive nature, which push the situation on Korean Peninsula to the actual situation of armed conflict far beyond constant military preparedness posture aimed at belligerent party. As such, they have negative impact on regional military and political situation and security architecture. Here is a question to those people who insist that DPRK's exercise of the right to self-defense, including missile fire drill, pose threat to the international peace and security. Why can the deployment of the nuclear assault, joint military exercise, and aerial espionage activity committed by United States contribute to peace and security in Korean Peninsula? United States and South Korea military exercise involving nuclear assault under the very dangerous and unrealistic aim of end of the regime of sovereign state constitute very risky act to spark disaster of nuclear war to Korean Peninsula. Those acts are really threat to international peace and security, which must be, which must be dealt within Security Council. Security Council should explain why dozens of the United States nuclear war drill involving all sorts of nuclear strategic assaults are not regarded as the threat to the international peace and security if our single test of ICBM is regarded as the threat to the international peace and security. At least, Security Council should explain why it ignores the fact that United States extremely dangerous military provocative pose the biggest threat to the security of the DPRK. At the present, Security Council is taking very dangerous paths under the influence of the high-handedness and arbitrariness of the United States and its few followers. It is outright act of ignoring the DPRK's sovereignty to take issue with our legitimate exercise of the right to self-defense alone, without any discussion on validity of overstepping military moves of the United States and South Korea. If the exercise of the right to self-defense of UN member states aimed at safeguarding its sovereignty and security in defiance of the military threats of the United States continue to be disputed, and if provocative and risk muzzle flags of the United States continue to be granted impunity, the international community will take for granted the United States the attempted military attack and aggressive action against the DPRK, which is tantamount to instigating outbreak of nuclear war on Korean Peninsula. If its ignorance of the military arbitrariness of the United States will lead to military attack and aggression against the DPRK, resulting in the most horrible disaster like a nuclear war on Korean Peninsula, can the Security Council bear responsibility for it? If not, Security Council faces with two options. One is to refrain from obstruction of the DPRK's exercise of the right to self-defense. And the other option is to denounce and detail United States anti-peace behavior. One-sided dispute of the DPRK's exercise of the right to self-defense in the face of the hostile policy and military threat of the United States under the single pretext of violation of the UN resolution possibly adopted by the United States and its followers is really most irresponsible and ill-minded act of totally abandoning the moral obligation and consciousness toward international peace and security. If military alliance activity of the United States and South Korea remain intact, and only the DPRK efforts to bolster self-defensive deterrence is accused as provocation, it will result in fostering military asymmetry on the Korean Peninsula and destroying the balance of power. Whether or not undesired, the extreme situation will take shape on the Korean Peninsula heavily depends on upcoming U.S. moves. If any abrupt situation will take place in future, United States shall bear full responsibility for it. In conclusion, the DPRK will actively join the efforts of the international community to ensure world peace and security and establish fair and just international order, and will fulfill its responsibility and role in struggle for safeguarding peace and stability of the Korean Peninsula in the future too. I thank you.
Thank the representative of the DPRK for their statement.